Good morning, Warriors. How you doing? Everyone doing okay? So we have the S&P under pressure, NASDAQ holding up okay. Greg has got a lead on his short. If you're a subscriber, you know where he did it. Nice entry, Greg. Blake's cleaning up on long US dollar Mexican peso near his target. Nice trading, Forex Analytics. Okay, so here's the S&Ps. Check it out. We didn't even recover 50% of this decline from the vaccine high. NASDAQ's been a little stronger. It did rally to the 50% level. If the S&Ps can hold one more day, maybe NASDAQ will stretch to up to this level. 61.8 is a little over 12,000. So, it's not that far away, 100 points away. 12,065, 160. But this could have been it. Pretty weak retrace here too, only halfway back, especially with what the market did. Hello, Didier, Miguel, Jeff, Arena. Pound continues to sell off. And after I'd given up on EG, looks like a pretty decent turn. I mean, we had a reversal day, kind of a reversal day yesterday, and now here we are back at resistance. So still held this low. Maybe it's okay. I'm sick of it for a little while. So it's probably on its way to 95. Anyway, other things going on. Like I said, Pound has been a very nice short this week from the 78.6 level. I don't see any reason to get long here. In fact, that's a tip that someone gave me once, because I have a tendency to go the door early. Someone once said to me, Dale, well, when you're thinking about getting flat and booking all of your profits, ask yourself if you would reverse when you're getting ready to, come out of a trade and be flat where it might have more to run. So if I ask myself right here, would I reverse and get long cable? The answer is no. Okay. So anyway, you already have about 170 pips from the 78.6 level. I want to address something. Well, let me run through it first. Here, yen. Maybe we get one more push up. It looks like we have a 1, 2, 3. I'm not saying that it's a top. I'm just saying I would love to see one more pullback in US dollar yen, and perhaps that's going to be accompanied by some weakness in the dollar. The dollar's having a decent week, but you see how we had this 93 breakout. Now we're back to 93. Okay, good, Jess. All right, so I don't know what to do with it right here, standing aside, but you have to admit from 92 to 93, it's been a pretty decent week. I want to talk about the yen now. So, I know there's a lot of confusion. It's been tough to trade. And maybe if you really break out a telescope and take a look at the monthly, you might see why I'm constructive. Okay. So this was a huge move here. This is when rates were going up. Okay. All the way into, 2015. And then we had the big decline in rates. But, when I look at this after a straight line move and, for about, what are we talking about, 4 years, we've been in this triangle. And if you go with technical analysis, the direction it has a higher probability of coming out of. This is something that you hear Steve talking about all the time. I don't see anything impulsive in here the last few years. To me, it looks like it's building a couple of triangles, either from this high, and they both come in around the same range for a breakout. It's going to be up around 111-ish. And this line here. So, I think we could break out of this formation. The yields are taking a little bit of a breather, but if they're going 10 years going to 1.5 or surprise everyone and go to 2% or so, it's going to be a pretty nice bull move. Of course, where you're wrong, this was the COVID crash and it's all the way down at 101.80. But we got to 320 down here, and we're putting in a nice month. I know we're just at the beginning of the month, but to have a 2-month reversal is back over 105.89, which we have 2 weeks to do. In fact, it's interesting. Look at what 105.89 is. I didn't even notice it until I just did this with you guys. But that's a wedge, okay, right here at 105.89, 105.90. We close above that by the end of November. It's going to look pretty good. And I have this wedge anchored up here. Where is it? At 111. So if you believe wedges can retrace, okay, if you think wedges retrace 100%, they'll give you 111 target and probably yields, 130, 140 possibility. So I think that the correlation is pretty tight between the yen and yields right now. Yields are down a little bit today. So maybe we get a little pullback, especially if we get some risk off in here. Here's a 10-year actually down 5 bips. So, maybe we're going to get some type of pullback again here. I don't think this is a top. It's psychological at 1%. Maybe we pull back for a few days. As long as we're holding this low from last week, this was the election breather. Okay, so if we take this low out, I'll change my tune. Okay, Narij, there's different types of gaps. There's a breakaway gap, there's a runaway gap, and there's a gap, which is the last, usually the third gap that a market leaves on, some type of parabolic move. So I don't think we had a breakaway. An exhaustion gap. I really don't follow it. Steve will probably show it. And okay, 10-year 3 drive. You mean here? 1, 2, 3. Something shorter term. Let's look at the 15-minute. Let's look at the 2-hour. Could be 1, 2, 3, kind of spread out. Looks like for a 3, we'd have to make at least one more run here. Up here, count this as 1, count this as 2, and if yields make new highs and the RSI stays under 70, yeah, that would qualify. So I'm going to turn it over to Blake now. See what Blake is thinking. The political and COVID situation here in the US is still, the twilight zone, and we'll see what happens.
Twilight Zone.
No idea. Huh?
Yes, Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. Someone dropped some bad acid in my coffee about I don't know, in March of last year.
I was
a bad trip. Huh?
There has been, this is not I think in a world of immediate gratification, which we all expect for things, especially this day and age with technology, that people forget that over history, or in history, we've had contested elections, we've had, vote counts, and it's taken a while. So I think it's wild because we do live in a day and age where we expect things immediately. Like, for example, I got up this morning at 3:00 in the morning and I needed something. I needed something, promptly. So I jumped on Amazon and I ordered it at 3:00 in the morning, and I'll have it later here today. So it's like,
immediate gratification. Yeah.
I think um, um, sorry, I was just reading something. And I think in a world like that, that's just like the kind of kind of situation that the kind of mood that people are in or expectations people have. But in all actuality, there's a lot of votes that have to be recounted. I had somebody in our chat room, Sam. He was like, hey, is it important that some of these vote counts are going to, we might see some more vote counts? Is that going to be important? And I told him, on all the, on the recounts, usually when they recount votes, there might be a difference of
500.
100 or so. I think there was an instance in the 80s or 90s where there was 4,000 votes difference, but most of the recounts are going to be pretty close to what we've got. I mean, you got to be really, really close in order for a recount to really matter. So, when you're 30,000 or 50,000 votes away, it may seem close in the grand scheme of things when you think about how many votes were cast, but really, it's efficient enough that you might have missed 100 here or whatever, but it's not going to be too big of a difference typically. So that's why, he was like, is are some of these recounts going to matter?
No.
And the answer to that question is no, unless there's like some huge discrepancy that, that, that somehow happens. I don't foresee it. And I don't think the market does either. So anyway, I just wanted to address that because that was a question from somebody in Australia, which, makes perfect sense if you're not living here in the United States, following US based news all the time, like Dale is. Dale hangs on every word that Fox News says. And I know that he watches it all day and all night. Don't you, Dale? I'm just wondering. Anyway,
Yeah, I'm pretty right wing.
I actually have a feeling Dale's more on the Sesame Street bandwagon like myself. So
Uh,
I'm
you
like,
know,
if I can see
someone was,
Elmo all day,
someone said to me that, oh, Dale, you get all your politics from CNN, and I wanted to correct them and say no, MSNBC, which is even more liberal than
Saturday Night
CNN.
Live, I get all my
Yeah,
politics from Saturday Night
yeah. You know what?
Live.
I think you'd have a clearer picture there.
Quite possibly.
Yeah,
Although,
and
I think,
laugh.
hey, it just makes me laugh. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you one last thing, which has been really, really nice for me the last couple of days. So my wife's business, if you guys don't know what my wife's business is, here, I'm just gonna show you really quick. Her business is she's had it for years now, and this is her company, Birdie Tell, right? Some of you guys have heard the names, and matter of fact, if you guys have been listening to my webinars for years, you've seen it evolve.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so these gifts are. It used to be like a wish list type of company years ago, like 5-7 years ago, where you just you make a gift wish list, but Amazon kind of capitalized on her business, and so she shifted into like local artisan gifts. So she spent years making relationships with local Arizona artisans. So you can go out and you can buy this gift, right? And you can buy this gift or any of these gifts, and you're supporting local businesses, and then she delivers them, and has a courier, runs them over to wherever. Anyway, she had this big corporate gift of this engineer group, and there's like 50 gifts, and they're big gifts. They're not small gifts. They're like big gifts. And she's like, hey, she came to me this weekend, and she's like, hey, are you interested in like helping me out with doing some of these deliveries? It would save us, $1,000 in delivery fees. If you wanted to help out. And I'm like, sure. So the last couple of nights, I've actually been a delivery guy, which has been fun. It's actually been quite fun because for me, I don't know about you guys, I've been stuck in front of my computer literally for 2 weeks. With the election, I feel like I've actually slept on my floor in my office. Last week was it last week? The elections were last week.
Yeah.
I've been really just kind of tied to my computer. So what I've done the last few days is I've actually helped her. I've loaded up in our truck deliveries, and I've delivered some gifts around the valley to some engineers, and I've had fun because I put on music. I roll down the windows because the weather's so nice. I'm seeing part of the valley that I haven't seen in 20, 30 years. It's amazing, the growth. It's been kind of nice to get out of my bubble the last couple of days. I'm going to be doing that for the next 2 days. I'm helping out, but it's actually been fun and refreshing.
Yeah,
I've
change of scenery. Yeah. People tell me, Dale, get out of the house, go to the beach,
Yeah, I mean, it's been nice. You
Yeah.
guys, I don't know if you're like me, but man, you should try it sometime. Anyway, but I helped her. I've been helping her out, and it's been really quite neat. Anyway, I'm going to go into analysis, and because that's the one downside was the other night when the RBNZ met. I was long some Euro New Zealand. Fortunately, my stops are really close, so there's nothing I could really do. I was driving down the road, and I'm like, well, I got stopped out. Oh well, you know what I mean. But that does happen. But let's talk about currencies and why we're all here today, and let's talk about what's happening. So the euro dollar, if you guys recalled yesterday, we were slumping towards the 50% retracement, which, as you can see, it actually held. You can see here's the fibs, and you can see we held previous highs. One of the reasons why I was thinking that the euro dollar is going to hold, and you guys can try to guess before I say this, is because I knew the euro is going to strengthen against the cable. Because the euro sterling, if you guys didn't catch it yesterday, big support right at 88.60. I picked up some euro sterling yesterday at 72, 88.72, and I sold the last out of it this morning. So
Nice.
it was a great trade. I mean,
Yeah.
you can see that 88.74 is when I sent out this update.
Yeah.
We were right at horizontal support.
Because it
Yesterday,
sure looked ugly down there.
remember, currencies always look most
Ugliest at the bottom.
support
Yeah.
and the most bullish at resistance. So just always
Yeah.
remember that. So by the end of the day, we ended up with a hammer, and with the yesterday, a strong bounce in the 88.60s as expected, with a close back above 89 level. While we did hold the support and move back to the 89.50 level may happen. This was the last night's update. We're at 89.70 now. When I got up this morning, I was like, okay, I'm going to take it off here. So I let it go like at 72 or something. The rest, I had some left over because I took profits yesterday, and then I just kind of let the rest run. And because I knew the euro was going to bounce there, the euro sterling has such big volumes that it tends to impact the euro quite a bit. So for those of you that were short the euro dollar yesterday, whenever I see the euro sterling at big support or big resistance, I have to factor that in to what I'm doing with the euro dollar or even the pound dollar. You know what I mean? So, maybe next time you guys might pay a little bit closer attention to what's happening in the euro sterling. That's probably one of top 5 most liquid currencies in the FX market, right? You're going to see more. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So let's talk about today. So what do we do with the euro today, and why is that? Oh man, I didn't want to do that. Here we go. All right. So the euro, I think any move, we noted overnight that resistance should be at 118. We did kind of exceed that resistance. And, I think 1840 is probably going to offer good resistance today. If you look at, from a Fibonacci standpoint, the 38 or the 50%, retracement's 1832. So I think 1840 should offer decent resistance intraday. Oops, damn, it'd be nice if I could type 1840. So now support is obviously key here at 117.50. You guys know I average out these a little bit. So 117.50. I do think we are in a range. The cable, again, here's Forex Analytics. If you look at the analysis from last night, end of day analysis, a break above the 130, a break of the 138, 131.80 level would be bearish for the pair, and we could trade back towards the 130 level if that transpires. So we broke through the 130.80. This is the, just so you guys know, this is the breakout point here, right there. That's
Yeah.
why we're paying attention to it, right? And now that we've broken back there, we should trade back towards 130.30 is the 618. Today 50% retracement is going to coincide with these spike lows down here, so that should offer support today. So that'll be 130.85 if we get there. I think now if you own the sterling, you just won out, right? And at this point in time, you would be really happy. Think about it. I always try to put myself in the shoes of the other trader. I own cable right now. Oh my God, I don't want to own it anymore. Where do I want out? Well, if we can get anywhere back towards 132, I'm out, right? So that's what that's how I try to think about, the
You're
market.
so compassionate.
Huh?
You're so compassionate thinking about the people on the wrong side of the market.
Well, I know, because I got to imagine, okay, if I'm long,
I know, I'm kidding.
I want out, I do think we're still range bound in the pound, until we get some solid Brexit news. I did tweet out the Aussie. Obviously, the Aussie, this is really critical support. If we break through 72.40, the bottom will fall out of that. My opinion. I'm going to put an asterisk there. As you guys know, 73 cents is resistance. Kiwi is holding up well, but now remember, I guess I should say this. Everybody's bullish to Kiwi now. I mean, let's understand why. Okay. We broke out of resistance. We're above this multi-year trend line. Aussie New Zealand's breaking down. New Zealand yen broke multi-year trend line, breaking out. It's bullish. I mean, it is. There's no if and or buts about it. It's bullish. And if you're short, you're squeezed. But now that all the shorts are out, what happens if we dip back below 68 cents? Now that all the shorts are out, if we get back below 68 cents, it's going to be a false breakout at some point. So I'm bullish now, just because you have to be. Resistance 69. I mean, the high overnight was 69.14. I'll put it in 69.15. That's resistance. It's bullish. For now, you should buy dips at 68 cents. But if it breaks below 68 cents, yeah, you're going to have to be really careful with that one. Dollar Canadian. So the dollar Canadian, we broke the 130.85. This is big, guys, because now we are threatening false breakdown, squeeze. We get above one. Well, I'll just whatever. What's this previous support here is 131, right? Look at the high is 130.06. So 131.06. So we're at resistance right now. We are at resistance. Beyond that, if for some reason we do break it, well, actually, let me show you something. This is forget all this other hubbub that I have here. Just see this triangle. 131.15. That's what I'm gonna write down today. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Support now is any dip down to 130.50. Okay. Sorry, just drinking some of my coffee here. Okay. Still a range, threatening a false breakdown. Moving right along. Dollar Mexican peso. So the dollar peso, as you can see, we're stopped up right now at 2060. The high today is 2062.8071. So I'm going to write down 2062. Then obviously 2085 is big. And you know, you guys know that I'm long, but I'm looking to add. And actually, this is where I add is above 2085, because that's when we really start to squeeze the shorts. There are a lot of people long Mexican pesos right now. And by the way, I was reading a good article. A guy that used to do a lot of he was a sell side portfolio manager, and he was also a for a number of years he was a buy side analyst, and no, he was a buy side portfolio manager, sell side analyst. I don't know, it was something like that. Anyway, I was talking to him, and he's just, or I was talking to him. I was reading his stuff, and he's just like, problem is everybody's bullish. Everybody is bullish right now, and you know, I mean, you look at all the bank forecasts, and everybody's looking at 4,600 next year, but everybody. So the problem with that, and as you guys know, is we got this little false breakout on election day, or not election day, the day after election, or no, the day that Biden was confirmed, and or at least by all the news sources, which again, it's not, we're all still in question about, but this is also when the vaccine news was released, and it was kind of a really big squeeze up there. So the risk is if we break back below, you know, this spike low here, which is basically 35.20, and that's becomes the real big risk, right? In my opinion, near term. So anyway, I don't know why I was telling you that. I think I was telling you that because if we really start to pull back a little bit, we could see a move in the dollar, you know, Mexican peso really start to squeeze higher if we see a move lower in S&Ps. That's why I'm following it so closely. So anyway, support now is what we wrote down yesterday is 20.03, as you guys know. Let's see, dollar Swiss, same as yesterday, 92, support at 91, same as yesterday, right?
Nice USD MEX pip, Blake.
Oh, thanks. You know, I mean, I got a good price, but it really hasn't been able to capitalize on it yet. So, but I'm, you know, hoping today it starts to make its move. It'd be nice. Anyway, I was just telling guys and gals in the chat room, Citi put out a short recommendation in the US dollar and Norwegian krona yesterday. I do not agree. I actually think the US dollar and Norwegian krona is a long. Here's why. And I'm going to tell you, just purely from a positioning standpoint, this is a false breakdown. That's the 618 retracement.
Okay.
Right? And this is resistance, support, breakthrough support, testing it as resistance. Yeah, we squeeze above 914, and we're going to squeeze back to 930. So yeah, I don't think I would want to.
Blake, I agree. I'm fundamentally bullish kroner, but I think the next move is not going to be higher for the kroner. So basically, I think all knock pairs probably are going to head higher before they head over.
And I think you got to be careful with it now. I'm not looking for like a move to 10. I'm just thinking that the next move, like you put out, or like you say, the next move might be back here towards 940. I wouldn't want to be short right now. Let's just put it that way, right? And City is, and I don't understand why. I mean, it's City Tech too, so I guess that's another thing. What? We just had weekly unemployment claims. Here you go.
Yes, sorry, my bad.
Dude, you're sleeping at the wheel. Anyway, no biggie. It's not like it's moving the market right now anyway.
We had CPI as well, which came in a little bit lower than expected, like 0.1 year on year. Yeah. So that's, and core CPI also 0.2 year on year. So
are we ever going to see inflation? Are we ever going to see inflation?
The way they measure it, probably not.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. All right, so let's continue on here.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Oh, deflationary pressures. All right.
By the way, Dale and everybody else who was listening, I closed my TBT long yesterday.
TBT.
It had gone well, so I just
closed.
Nice. TBT? Yeah. What do you get? Like 17 something?
To be determined.
17.15.
Nice.
Sorry, what? Say what?
What is TBT?
Oh, it's the short 20-year Treasury ETF. Oh. Double leverage as well.
Look at you! Oh, look at you, big! Look at you, big!
Yeah, he's a
derivative guy. Oh, awesome. Okay. That's cool. How'd you do with it?
I was good. Sorry?
Buy it back break if
I might do. It went up like 10% in 2-3 weeks, so I took it off.
Yeah.
If only every trade would go like that. Sorry, carry on, Blake.
That's all right. Dollar index 50% retracements at 93.20. Support will be down here at 92.60. Remember, a lot of people, if you're in the camp that stocks are going up, you're also in the camp that the dollar is going down. So, right now the dollar is on the unthinkable. We broke through that triangle and now we're squeezing. So, we've got, as of right now, we have this false breakdown in the dollar index, right? This is a false breakdown. So now if we get above 93.20, we're really going to start to squeeze. Are we going to do that? I don't know. We'll find out. But, I think that support now, is at 92.60 on dips. I'm keeping us in range. Dollar yen, same as yesterday, 105.60. We couldn't get over, we got over 105.60. We couldn't close above it. So 105.60 is still big resistance. Support is still, what did we write down yesterday, Stelios? Hold on, I can figure this out.
Sorry,
it's like
here, this is our chat room. These are the files from yesterday. So unless you have it.
Yeah, I'm curious where you've anchored that pink downtrend line, if it's back at 111 on the yen chart you're showing when you go back to it.
Where in the hell am I? Where? Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. This is from yesterday. So this is our bias chart from yesterday. 105.60. Yeah, I guess 105. That's it. You guys are on Jumbotron, by the way. This is the chat room. So you guys can say, you guys can all say hi. Let's see. So 105, and I still think that that's holds true, right? Oh, here you guys. There you guys are. That's our chat room right there. Remove that. Oh, Simon wanted to say Jumbotron. There's Simon. There's JD. All right. Okay. Let's see. Back. Dollar yen. We got that. Gold and S&P. Let's see. So S&P, I was, as you guys know, support is going to be, whoops, not there. Support is going to be this 35.20. Yesterday or the day before yesterday, well, you guys know I've been saying that the resistance is at 3,600. I was actually thinking that we were going to make our way up towards 3,600 in Asian trade, and then we, kind of fell out of this wedge that you see here. We haven't been able to capitalize on that to the downside, but I do think that 3,600 is still going to offer resistance, because that was the breakout, the big breakout point here. So we should stay below 3,600 if we're going to turn. And that's the only, we have to get above 3,600 for me to turn bullish, to put it on bullish. Gold, same as yesterday. Nothing's different. The support, which is really critical. Well, I know 1850 is this support right here, 1850. All right, hey, Stelios, I guess you got to go. Bye, Stel. See you
Bye,
later.
Stel.
He had to run off, guys. Because of COVID,
The bus schedule
the
changed.
bus schedule changed for his kids. So, I get it. The 38% retracement is where I'm really focused. I know this horizontal support everybody's looking at, but I could see us breaking 1850 and then hitting 1835 or 38 and then bouncing, right? So everybody goes, oh crap, they get short, and then all of a sudden we bounce back. That's why I really would love to see a move below the 38% retracement, which is 1838. That's really the most important level for me in gold. Okay. Resistance now. I mean, we can't even make it over 1900. So 1890 is resistance now. It's just kind of creeping lower. So, and that's it. There's your bias chart. It's ready. So I'm going to take a picture of it since.
Let it smile bias chart.
Yeah, take a picture if you want. But Steve should be here. Good morning, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Good morning, guys.
How are you, buddy?
Good. How have you been?
Tired. I'm
You sound tired.
I don't know if you missed it earlier, my story. I've been the last few nights I've been doing deliveries for my wife's company.
Yeah, I did hear it.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Yes, Steve was laughing. He goes, boy, is Blake whipped. And I'm thinking, what a nice husband.
No,
and Steve's thinking,
it's been fun. I mean, I've actually enjoyed it. Like I said, I was in a part of town yesterday that I hadn't seen since I was 18 years old, and the growth in that area, I was like, man, this was all dirt. Now there's like mansions and gated communities with big, huge homes.
What part of town, out of curiosity?
Over by South Mountain, Dale.
Oh, okay, yeah.
At the base of the mountain. I mean, there's
any good tips?
Huh?
Any good tips?
Tips
for the delivery?
For the delivery.
Anyone tip you?
Oh no!
Delivery man.
this big engineering firm. It was just a bunch of engineers. They're so happy. They got these. It's a bunch of dudes. A bunch of dudes getting these like Arizona gifts, and they're just like, oh, thanks.
Metrosexuals with their powder and shaving their chests, or what?
Yeah, it was cool. They had a great time.
Oh, we're going off the air. I can feel it.
Yeah.
They're gonna shut us down.
I actually had fun. I've had fun the last couple of days. You know where I get to drive later this week, Dale?
Where?
I get to drive towards Florence. which
Oh my
is
gosh, where
I
the
know,
prison?
so far.
You're delivering to the prison
Th-
too?
this- yeah, that's the one where I'm going to say I'm really not excited about going
Leave
to
it at
to
the
the prison.
gate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, anyway, Steve, I'm gonna let you take over because it's been kind of a slow night, but I really do think we have to be on guard with some of these currencies nearing pretty key levels. I mean, you got the Aussie near key, support. The dollar Canadian is very strong, and even with this bounce that we saw in risk, the dollar Canadian is right off of its highs. I mean, I'm not convinced here that that the market is going up. I'm actually more tilting towards the equity markets. As long as we're below 3,600, we're at risk of a sell off here. So
Yeah, I think in the short term,
short term, yeah.
I mean, the move higher in the S&P so far, could be a nice pennant, the rebound. So yeah, we might get another leg lower. But as long as we trade like above I would have to say initially like 35.20. I'm not really enthusiastic about it. But I do see the potential for one more leg lower. So I wouldn't definitely be jumping on the risk on bandwagon. Right here, right now. I think it's the risk reward makes no sense.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Steve. Well, hey, I'm going to let you take over with Dale. You guys have a great trading session. For those of you that are Forex Analytics subscribers, I'll see you on the daily roundup webinar, which is only for our subscribers. And remember, if you really want to take advantage of Forex Analytics, and you're not in the United States and not in Canada, open a Pepperstone account, because then you can get Forex Analytics for free for a number of months if you want to learn why. Watch these 2 webinars down here, and then you have to click this account that says open account, because we have to be able to link your account to your Pepperstone account. You have to use this link here, and if for some reason you tried it and you didn't, make sure you contact us so we can square it all the way. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you take over, Steve and Dale.
Thank you,
guys
Blake.
have a great one, and good luck
You too,
today,
Blake.
guys.
You do,
Happy
mate.
Wednesday.
too, buddy.
Is today Wednesday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Thursdays.
Yeah.
Creeps up
1.5 days left.
Holy
I know.
cow. All right.
It's
See you
like
guys later.
Groundhog Day with COVID.
I'm driving. No Groundhog Day
Oh,
for me.
that's
It's all
right.
different.
Yeah.
See you guys.
You have another career now. Yeah. All right, Steve. So
Hey, Dale.
anything stand out to you today?
As Blake mentioned, it has been quite, quite a calm night. I
Yeah.
mean, we had already seen some moves. I think the market needs to take a breather and see what happens next in multiple fronts. As always, the dollar and risk assets are holding the baton, and they're going to show us the direction. That's why, I mentioned before, and I agree with Blake that, just noting, the way we're rebounding in the S&P, does tell me that there is, a decent likelihood that we're going to get more risk off, temporarily, of course. And if that's the case, it makes sense to expect a little bit of a rebound from the dollar, a little bit of a pullback in some specific pairs. For example, Blake mentioned specifically the USD CAD. I've seen a lot of people try to assume that this is a double bottom in USD CAD, but I want to remind you that in order for this to be a double bottom, we need to end up breaking above this high at 134. Then and only then, that's going to be a double bottom. And yes, that then is going to be a very nice bullish signal, because that's a 400 pip range, and it's going to be pointing to a rebound towards 138, which coincidentally or not is a nice confluence of resistances.
Yeah.
But until all that happens, I see this rebound as nothing more than corrective, as simple as that. So, against 134, my bias remains short, and in general, I remain bearish the dollar, despite the possibility of a little bit of a rebound. This is not my trading style anyhow. I'm not going intraday in the market to cuts like a 20, 30, 50 pip move. I have a, uh, at least a few days time horizon whenever I go in a trade. Now, I mentioned a couple of days ago on the webinar, 2 days ago, actually, I talked about the cable and how it was in a pivot area because it was testing a confluence of resistances. This has worked nicely for now. So, we're pulling back nicely from the channel of resistance. Keep in mind, though, that, this move might easily extend towards 130, but then things become a lot more complicated. Only a break below 130 is actually going to open the door for a lot more weakness. Of course, we know that with Brexit, a Brexit deal looming, and with time running out, any given day we might see massive moves happening in this front. So you need to keep that in mind. Speaking of the cable, one pair I wanted to mention yesterday actually, and unfortunately I forgot to mention because we talked about other things, was Europound, because Europound was testing this nice confluence of supports, and so far today it seems to be rebounding nicely, perhaps even creating a morning star formation here. This is worth noting. Perhaps that was it for the move lower. So it remains to be seen. We're still holding within this channel. Nice reaction yesterday. Pared back the losses, closed slightly positive, although we were looking like we would close negative at some point and we were under pressure. Nice continuation today, but in any case, I would want to see a break above this channel to, get more bullish. Purely from a technical perspective, and I'm not even trying to imply that the technical picture can, in essence, predict fundamental macro outcomes. That's, not what I believe, obviously. But purely from a technical perspective, it would work nicely if we have some negative developments on the Brexit side, because that would cause a very nice breakout here for the Europound and a very nice breakdown. And a very nice breakdown from this channel for the cable. So, that would work really nicely from a technical perspective. But of course, nobody knows what's going to happen. I mean, I don't even think they know what's going to happen. I mean, they're still negotiating, and my assumption is that it's going to take, as long as it can take. We know that there's a deadline for the end of the year. Probably, they're going to.
Yeah. New Year's Eve, they'll have a deal.
Who knows? We'll see. I mean, you know how things are and how politicians work, right?
Not really.
I think you have a good idea. So yeah.
How's it? What about some of the dollar's been bouncing a little bit, and you and I were talking about some of the exotics. I'm wondering if any of the exotics are under pressure. Like,
listen, the USD Turkish lira has broken down very nicely. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And nice. I'm wondering if it topped on a series of bad news, right?
Yeah.
Because in essence, during the 2-3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we got like a series of bad news. I mean, Erdogan ousted the central banker. Finance minister had to resign. But I did see that Erdogan actually was making some statements today that there's going to need to be, they're going to need to implement a lot of strict measures having to do with the economy because things are bad. And perhaps the fact that he seems to be realizing that, things have to change. First of all, I think that the initial move lower in the USD Turkish lira was a central bank intervention. But if Erdogan actually shows that he realizes that things need to change, I think that can be the beginning of a very, very nice rebound in the Turkish lira, so a move lower in the USD Turkish lira, we know that, you know, we've been in a multi-year, I mean, what is it, like 12, 13 years non-stop uptrend. And, you know, even a decent correction in such a move can take you a long way, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe you monitor that and look and see if you get some type of failing rally, a lower high would be a pretty good, you know, indicator here.
Yes, exactly. Now, one other, you can call it somewhat exotic currency we've been talking about, the USD against the Chinese yuan, once again found support in this channel's trend line support. It's rebounding in a very, very unimpressive manner. So I think as long as we trade below like 670, you know, there is really no reason to turn bullish. So, you know, this holds quite nicely. Now, USD ZAR seems to have, you know, broken down. We hadn't had a look at it for quite some time. USD MXN found nice support on this descending channel. So from a risk reward perspective, in the short term, a rebound looks likely. But, you know, and of course, we know that if we do see another short-term leg lower in equities, USD MXN should benefit from it. But keep in mind, in any case, that this 2085 area is nice resistance. And in any case, we remain in a downtrend. So I think that any rebound should be viewed as corrective. USD INR testing this trend line resistance once again. Let's see if it can actually break out through it. USD with the Russian ruble is finding support again in this 75.50 area. If it breaks down from there, I think it can, you know, it can produce a nice move to the downside.
Yeah, you know what, Steve? Watch that for a pop to your channel that it broke down, and it'd be like put in a right shoulder, and you have a neckline right at that support.
Yeah, might be the case. Might be the case. Of course, we all know that it's going to be helped immensely if crude oil, you know, explodes higher from here, which is a possibility, right? I mean, we might see a little bit of a pullback if we see some risk of happening. But then I think it's a very good probability that we move higher from there, and that would help a lot. Natural gas, as expected, did find support in the area we talked about. It's already moved like 6% or so higher. I want to see what's going to do from here. I mean, what type of a rebound are we getting here? Anybody that actually bought that area of support, you know, is already in a comfortable position to be able to manage the trade, you know, trail stop losses to break even or whatever. And, you know, if you get lucky and it explodes higher from there, you know, you have a very nice trade in your hands. Now, having to do with the rest of the metals, nothing has really changed. Today is like the third consecutive day so far that gold has been consolidating that big move lower. But, you know, the fact that it has failed to actually rebound, that it just consolidates, makes it more likely that the next leg is going to be to the downside, right? Short term. So
I'd like to sell a rally up between 1900 and 1920 if it happens.
I'm not even sure we're going to make it there. It's already the third day that we, you know, so we might see like another move lower. So all of that, you know, binds nicely together. I mean, a short-term leg lower in stocks, short-term leg lower in metals, short-term leg higher in some of the more risk-sensitive currencies, like a little rebound in the USD CAD, a little rebound in the USD MXN, a little pullback in the Aussie USD, in the Kiwi. You know, they look well positioned for such a move. So I'm in total agreement with Blake there. Here's silver as well, third consecutive day in decision candle. We had a pin bar, another pin bar. So far we have an inside doji. Of course, it's early on the day, but, you know, so far that's how it looks. Platinum, you know, deadline. Look at the nice reaction. I warned about that. We talked about it a couple of days ago when we were testing the channel. Look at the nice reaction from the channel once again in palladium. 2500 is a very nice area of resistance, irrespective of the channel. But now that it was confluencing with this channel, nice short-term risk-reward trade there for people that want to trade intraday. So, nothing fundamentally has changed since yesterday. As I said, I think the market is perhaps bracing, for a little bit of a risk off before we can go back to, euphoria and, whatever else. And I have no idea what the catalyst is going to be, another vaccine headline or whatever, who cares? What will be done will be done. Dale, let's see about questions. What we
I didn't
have.
really see anything at the beginning. Someone wants to know what your take is on yen, Steve. I know it's one of your favorite pairs.
Yeah, absolutely. The USD yen. So
Yeah.
USD yen, quite the opposite, the exact opposite picture of gold, right?
Yeah.
Sharp move higher, very sharp move higher, and 3 consecutive days of doing nothing.
Yeah.
Combined here with a false breakdown.
Yeah.
We might
People
have
are stuck.
we might have nice elements for, another leg higher.
Yeah,
here
we're
in
having a little
USD.
breather in yields. They're down about 4 or 5 bips, and maybe that's why the yen is
Yeah,
pausing.
speaking of yields, we can have a look at the 10-year yield, which look where it found resistance, right?
Yeah, right.
Previous support resistance area, this little channel as well. So yeah, I mean, from a risk reward perspective, I would have to say that yields look like they might pull back from here temporarily. But we still we still trade within this ascending channel. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's impulsive in any way, but that doesn't mean that it has to break down right here, right now. And there is also the chance that price action goes vertical. As long as we trade in the manner we're trading, I think yields will remain to be under pressure. But sometimes the market, as you know from experience, starts a reversal in a very subtle way, right?
Yeah. Markets bottom and silent, saucer bottoms. The longer the base, the bigger the launch into space.
That's not out of the question. That's not an unlikely scenario. It's not the prevailing scenario. I can tell you that much. I mean, I wouldn't be betting on that. That's why we watch technical formations, because they tell you when a move is corrective, and they tell you when a move stops being corrective, right?
Yeah.
You'll see that momentum is going to be totally different. You'll see that technical formations that looked corrective now break out, and interpretations have to change unless you're very stubborn, in which case you're probably not going to be
broke
around too long to have many stories to tell. So that's it. By the way, do we have somebody's asking about Nikkei? And yes, Nikkei is a good question actually, because Nikkei has broken out in multi-year highs. Let me pull it up. There you go. You see?
Yeah.
So Nikkei was finding resistance again and again in this 24,000 area. And, following the elections, we actually decisively broke above it. Look at the confirmation from the RSI side as well, right?
Maybe that's a kind of a market confirmation for US dollar yen.
It might actually be. And in this case, keep in mind, obviously, that even when we pull back, 24,000 has a very high probability of acting as support from this point on, because it was an area that held as resistance from the very beginning of 2018 until a few days ago. So I'm pretty sure that the same area will probably be defended as support this time around. I don't expect it to break, at least not initially. Let me see. Probably I've lost some things. Steve, could you please have a look at AMD, NVIDIA? Yeah, absolutely. Why not? AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. Here it is. clearly, in my opinion, a bullish consolidation, and it makes sense, guys. I mean, I'm a tech freak. People tell me I've been into computers since the 80s, since I was very young. I can tell you as a fact, in case you're not following developments, AMD has actually, during the past few years, has in essence launched an attack in the hegemony of Intel, and they've actually managed to annihilate them. I mean, this year's CPUs are far superior in on all aspects. I mean, they during the past few years they were closing the gap with last year's CPUs. They actually managed to surpass Intel's performance on everything that has to do with productivity. Intel was just incrementally faster in anything that had to do with gaming, and keep in mind that gamers do buy a lot of CPUs, so that is important. And this year's lineup in the CPUs actually managed to, um, uh, uh, overperform Intel in gaming as well. So AMD has managed to, explode higher, as you see. And in my opinion, this is a triangle. So I don't know how long we're going to spend here and what exactly we're going to do in here. It might be very little, it might be longer,
Looks
but
like
I
a
think
descending triangle to me. So that
look
actually has bearish. It's a reversal formation.
okay. I'll tell you that I think it's more likely a continuation formation than a reversal formation for me.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay, we will.
Now having to do with NVIDIA.
I do have an interview after this.
Oh,
I
sorry,
found a
I didn't.
replacement. Actually, a trading buddy of mine. He's a excellent trader, and he's fell in love with a robot. Not for a girlfriend, but he's using robots to supplement his trading.
Okay, actually,
And he's in phase all the time, and he promised me today he's going to join Forex Analytics. So since I had a cancellation, I thought I'd bring Jess Singh in today.
Perfect. So let's hear what he has to say. Get
Okay.
him on.
Okay.
Here's NVIDIA, by the way. Also looks good if you ask me, as long as we trade above this trend line support. Okay, Dale.
All right. So Jess, I just promoted you to panelist, and I'm going to ask you to unmute. Are you nervous, buddy? Jess? You're up, buddy.
Okay, can you see me?
There, I can't see you yet, but I hear you loud and clear. Do you want to share your screen? It's that green box. Share screen, drop down menu for you.
Okay.
If he wants to share a camera, I also allowed him to do so.
Okay.
That's okay. I mean, I don't mind showing my face, but you know what?
It's up to you. You can use your camera if you want.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
You just
start video.
Start video. Yeah.
The button that says start video.
I didn't say start video over here. You know what? Why don't I just share screens? Is that okay, guys?
Sure.
And if there's interest, I can always come back.
Yeah, you could always mail out an 8x10 glossy. All right, autograph. So I just want to introduce you, Jess. I met Jess when I was facilitating, moderating a room on FX Street called the Live Analysis Room many years ago. So, Jess used to come on and, share his story and, what he went through and his experience, and recently has contacted me and asked if he could present what he's doing now. So just before we get going on the robots, you just want to give our viewers, attendees, and people who watch a video just a quick synopsis of your long and winding road?
I'm going to only talk about the good stuff. All right, Dale?
Yeah, first sure. All, that's fine.
Hey, it's great to be back here. I mean, I've been a member from day one, but then I decided to go and build automated trading systems for some banks and some hedge funds, and that took up a lot of my time and effort. But I'm back here, and as soon as you guys can accept my damn Canadian credit card, I can sign up.
Yeah,
right?
he's having trouble signing up, Steve.
It's
because of
okay.
his
I'll use,
Canadian credit
I'll
card.
use an American card. All right, don't worry about it.
All
I never
right,
thought
okay.
about it,
All
but I'll
right.
get that done. Yeah, my background basically. This is a very long, complex presentation. I'm going to narrow it down to 30 minutes the best I can, guys. But my background is in investment banking. I was with Canaccord. I was doing deal flows and financing deal flows and taking companies public. I've dealt with all of them. I've dealt with Lehman Brothers, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, all of them. I know the guys really well. I've done, I can't remember, over 40 IPOs. So I'm very well known amongst the banking industry. And of course, when 2008 happened, I was in bed with Lehman Brothers and ouch, you know.
Yeah.
But I've been a trader since I was 14 years old. My brother taught me trading way back then. And I just soaked it up, just read and read as much as I could. And then I was hooked. All right. So out here, basically, in Canada here, amongst my peers, I'm considered to be one of the best traders in Canada. And what I'll do, I don't want to sound arrogant, but it is what it is, right? If that's what they think of me, that's fine. But what I'll show you is one strategy, okay? And you guys could decide for yourself, okay? And I did this on TradingView. Can you see my screen, Dale?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I did this on TradingView because I noticed you guys really like this charting platform. And if you notice, this is the euro on the 3 hour, okay? These are custom-made indicators that I made, I think, about 11 years ago. Okay, these are, believe it or not, these are all RSIs. They don't look like it, but that's basically RSIs on moving average. This is RSIs on stochastics, and this is RSIs on a MACD embedded with a Williams percent oscillator. Okay, that doesn't matter. What matters is what everybody already knows. And Blake is an amazing trader, and I follow Blake a lot. But I really count on my robots. So what I've got on here, okay, on an actual trading platform though, like if you guys are using Oanda, Pepperstone, Forex.com, Alpari, whatever you're using an MT4 or an MT5 platform, right? So I will have a detection robot on the 4 hour or the 3 hour chart, okay? And this is called my Trend Wizard setup, okay? This robot does not do a trade, okay? What it's doing is as soon as you can see, the trend's changing here, definitely confirmed here. And we could see, well, these little things are in the way. It's confirmed. I still do not take this trade, guys, okay? I wait for the pullback and I still do not take this trade. And the reason why I don't is because I have my trading robots are sitting on the 1 hour chart, okay? Not here, that's a detection robot. It's gone on alert as soon as this happens. I've heightened actually these candles so you can see easy. And right here, basically, as soon as this happens, the alert goes off on here. My 1 hour robot and my 15-minute chart robots both become active. And they're basically now looking to go long. Now, just to break it down, for $100,000 account, I trade 10 lots, but for in this case, I'm not sure how big the traders are here. For a $10,000 lot, $10,000 account, you should not be trading over one lot, okay? Even half a lot, I think, is okay. But let's go with a lot here. So I'm sitting here watching this, and as soon as my 1 hour and my 15-minute robot activate a one lot trade going long, guess what I do? I come in with 3 lots. I just hit a home run.
Okay. So yeah, so really what you're doing here is, because I know you've been a discretionary trader, even though you've, used robots for a long time, a lot of your stuff. And, like for myself as well, I have a hard time just turning over capital to a robot because, maybe I'm a control freak and it's hard for me to let go.
Right.
But you use them for both. You use them
Yes.
for detecting trades and then entering trades, and then you have your discretion to do it on your own, which is kind of a blend of using robots, EAs, and being a subjective discretionary trader. Kind of blended that. Okay.
Exactly. It's
All right.
like, even if I just put on 0.1 lots for the robots, make it really, really safe. And as soon as they fire, I come in and I load up. I put lots of lots on. Use max leverage, right, Dale?
Yeah, use max leverage. Turn
Those were my lyrics. Man. That was
$500
good bingo.
into yeah, turn $500 into 10K, or watch it go away. Yeah, all right.
Exactly. It's the same
Right.
scenario here. We have confirmation, we have confirmation, we have confirmation, and I still don't take the trade. Once those robots on the 15-minute and the 1 hour activate a short position, now I add big here, right? Maybe
Yeah.
it's here, maybe it's here. Wherever it is, I add big and boom, I'm out. Right? So
Okay.
trying to catch this, a grand slam home run from here to here, or from here to here on a long, boy, that's hard to do, guys. That's, yeah, we get them once in a while, right?
Yeah.
But these base hits is all I focus on, and we get them every week, especially in this market since May, right? It's been an amazing market. I mean, it's sad what's going on in the world, but as for the volatility in the market, it's been bang on.
Okay.
So why don't I show you the 1 hour and the 15-minute robot? Here's
Okay.
what I'm going to surprise you with. It does not, like, you hire a coder to do this like I used to do and have it properly tested. It takes anywhere to 4 to 6 weeks to do. We're going to do it in 15 minutes. We're actually going to build it. Okay. Let's get off of here. And, oh, this is my business partner, guys.
All right, so you're going to have to do a new share if it's not on the same screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we're still looking at the Trend Wizard 3-hour
Oh, boy.
detection room.
Oh,
So all you have
man.
to do is click the share screen again, and or there's a new share right next to it, new share, and
Oh, I
then
don't-
share the other screen you want, or
yeah, you
put.
know, that's a VPN I'm on. So why didn't I go? Boy, I should have known this. Hey, why didn't I go here? Excuse
Okay.
me. Why didn't I go here? We won't be able to build it, but I've already got them built, I hope.
You could go to your website and do it.
All
Yeah,
right.
there. Okay,
Right.
so there's Jess's site.
Okay, guys. I'm not, so I can't go on my VPN. That's how I build robots, and it takes about 15 minutes to 20 minutes to build an actual robot rather than 3 to 6 weeks. All right.
Yeah, and so DJ's asking, do you have a stop loss protocol?
Yeah, we have. That's what I was going to show you, and hopefully I can just do it from this website. We could show you all of that, and the criteria is, we will set the criteria when we build the robot. And I know I only got 30 minutes or less than that now. I'm going to get to it, and then I'll answer questions.
Okay.
And we have a whole team of people ready to answer your questions too. We all love face. So listen, we've been around 10 years, guys. This is not a fly-by-night company, okay? We've had over 25,000 traders buy our robots and even our licenses, okay? We have a huge forum, okay, that you can access. There's hundreds of traders on there every day. They share their results and everything. Careful of the cowboys. There are guys that go for the 50%, 100% returns in a month. That's not what we give you when we build the robots for you, okay? We don't do that. I've tried every robot in the market. I've probably tried over 600 robots, and they've all failed. They have never met my criteria, okay? We have a lot from the US. We understand the FIFO laws that you cannot hedge. I think 20% of our traders are from the US, okay? Mostly from Europe. So let me take you to the robot builder, okay? And this is free, guys. You guys can go use it. Take your indicators, take your strategies, okay? Like, look at Dale's 3-drive formation. I'm gonna build that robot for Dale, okay? And we're gonna find out what the RSI readings really should be. Should it be 14 on a 4-hour chart? Maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe it's 16, maybe it's 12. How about on a 1-hour chart? Is that RSI reading really supposed to be 14? Maybe it's 28, maybe it's 21. How about
So
on
you
15?
can basically you could optimize what already
Exactly.
works. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay, so we're in trouble. So because it's on my VPN, I didn't find one, but I'm going to take you through it right away. So I was talking about the 1 hour and the 15-minute chart, okay? I'm going to use premium data. So it's important that we get the data of your broker if you're using whoever you're using. Doesn't matter what broker it is in the world. We got to get the data put in properly. It's a long process, but it's very easy. We have video tutorials and we have text step by step. Okay. So I want to find Euro US dollars, 1 hour strategies. I'm just going to start this and I'm going to take you through what it is we go look for. All right. The properties, I'm looking at 0.1 lots. On stop loss, I'm saying don't use and take profit because I'm looking for a conditional entry and a conditional out. Of course, we're going to be using stop loss and take profits, okay? But what's most important here, so that's going to be running for three minutes. I should have put it for more. That's amount of indicators, entries. Right here is important. You go to the acceptance criteria, make sure when you guys go onto the site, like I said, it's free to use, right? And the tutorials are right there, and we have a full staff there to help you through everything. Let's say you're in the US, you use US dollars, it's a $10,000 account, your leverage is 1 in 50, okay? That's key that you plug that in. The rest, leave it as default, okay? Symbol settings, again, depending if it's Oanda, use them. I'm using premium data here from Decoscopy. Acceptance criteria, leave it as default for now. Okay, this is all explained. Everything is explained by video tutorials on the site. Okay, and here's your indicators. You can go through here. These are all the indicators on your MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms of your broker. Okay. All of them are there, stochastics, RSIs, MACDs, moving average. What this is doing right now while we're talking, that generator is cross-referencing as many indicators against each other with the different parameters, okay? So there's infinite possibilities here. And it's looking for a winning combination of indicators to create a strategy for you, okay? That's one of the most important features.
What a time saver.
Oh,
If you're into this type of stuff, what a time saver.
yeah.
I mean, how much time did you spend to code and build a robot before this?
Used to take me, because I'm quite advanced at it, plus I hired some of the best guys in the world. It would take us about 3 to 6 weeks. Now
Okay.
it takes me about 3 days to do it.
Okay.
2.5 to 3 days, right? See, look at all the stuff that's already generated here. Let's go back to the generator. So everything that's generated will go into the collection. I left this quite open, okay, guys? I left this quite open on purpose so that we would get lots of them. Let's go back, see this. Let's go to the collection. So here you go. You are not going to see, when you go buy these crazy robots on the market, you're not going to see nice, clean, curve-fitted lines, okay? You're going to see all this crazy stuff, and it's going to show you, well, that would be your return. The drawdown, a bit high, right?
Yeah.
Return per drawdown, and the number of trades that it had taken, right? Then you can go in. So you go through all of these, and you're going to eliminate, like that. You're going to eliminate crap like this, right? You're going to eliminate the really ugly looking ones, but let's just pick one right now. How about we pick this one? I think this one looks possibly the best. Once you pick that, you go in here, you're going to see what did this strategy do? Well, it's using the DeMarker as an entry to go long, and it will be the opposite if you're doing short, okay?
Is it DeMarker, Tom DeMark stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
It uses all the indicators. It uses every indicator in MT4 in your broker. So let's push that. Let's see what it says. The DeMarker crosses the level line down, and it's using a period of 16, but look at the level line. It says the best level line is not 0.00, it's 0.038, guys. All right? That's our entry. Our exit, there's 2 conditions that both must be met. The stochastic line, higher than the signal line, and that's the period of the stochastics that they recommend to use, okay? And then you have, of course, the RSI. And they're saying the period of the RSI if the RSI is higher than the level line is 61 here, not 50. And the period is 33, not 14, okay?
Hmm.
All right, so now we have a robot. This is what I call just a nugget. Now we go beat the hell out of this thing. That's the key, all right? This is not good enough to ever give to any of our clients or us to use, right? And how do we beat it? Beat it up? We punch it first, then we kick it, then kitchen sink. Let's go punch it. So as soon as you go into walk forward, I'm gonna start it because this takes a few minutes. What it's doing is it's taking those indicators and their conditions and their parameters, and it's running it here. And now Dale comes and buys this robot from us, let's say, or Dale creates this robot. We want to see, okay, it shows it's profitable in this time segment. And that's probably 3 months because we divided it into 5 time segments. We want to see, hey, let's see if Dale makes money in the first 3 months. And then Blake might say, hey, Dale, that was awesome. I'm going to come in and buy it. Okay, so it passed, pass. And you go up here, and there it is. 1 is validated out of 5. I must have 4 out of 5 in order for me to say, so far this robot is withstanding turbulent markets. Okay, so now Blake bought it. Okay, that's kind of hope it doesn't fail here. So Dale tells Blake, and Blake buys it at this time. Oh man, did it ever make a good profit? Boom, he's happy. So now he goes and tells Steve. Now Steve's going to come and buy it, right? So we do not optimize a robot. We optimize it after it's run. Then we go back in time and optimize it, right? So Steve's happy too. He's also in the profit. Wow, this is rare, guys, that I do this on the first time. Now Stelios bought it, and Stelios is
poor
pissed
Stel.
off.
Yeah.
Stelios is like, bullshit, man. Where is that Jess? I'm gonna go find him. I lost money there.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've only passed on 3 out of 5. So we have 1 more test here. If it's 4 out of 5, we move forward. Okay. And this, we're doing this on the fly. There we go. We've got a winning robot. After we've punched it, it won. It won 4 out of 5 segments of time. Now let's take it to the casino. Okay. This is where we now kick it.
You're increasing leverage.
Nope, not increase. No, what we're doing is we're creating very rough waters in the market for the euro.
Okay.
Right,
Okay. So it's
we don't want to know what it does in a really nice trending environment. We want to know, can this withstand really hard jolts in the market, like you know, the limit downs.
Yeah, tape bombs. Tape bombs. Right? Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go over to the casino, right? And I'm just glossing over everything, guys, because of my time. Now, I need at least 15 out of 20 passes here. And you might say, well, what is this casino? What is it doing? It looks like it's already failed. It's failed. So, yeah, calculated 20, and it looks like they all passed, doesn't it? What happened here? Let's start it again. Oh, you know what? I didn't put my criteria. There we go. We're going to say, sorry, guys, because I'm not doing this on my VPN where everything's already set.
Okay.
Give me 1 more second. So we're
people are going to have time. People are going to have time to go back.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm sorry for going fast. This is what I like to do. I like to go in and randomize these because I know my brokers. They don't skip my orders. The slippage is fine. Now, if you're with an offshore broker, guys, I highly advise that, but I highly not advise it. Jeez. You know, I use Oanda. I use Forex.com. You know, I'm not a big fan of them, but they insure me up to $1 million. That's one of the reasons I use them. Okay. So what I like to do is say, let's just change these indicators settings, period. Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's just throw it in anywheres and let's see how it performs. Rather than having time segments of 3 months, throw it in anywheres. Okay. And usually this fails here, right? This is where we kick it. We punched it already. It passed, surprisingly, because I just created it. We just found it together, by the way. So failed, okay? We only validated 6 out of 20. Now what I do is I scrap it and I go back to the generator and I start again, okay? But I'm gonna move you forward 1 more time. Once we do this, let's say it passed here. We go over here. And now what we do is say, okay, just to make sure it's not over optimized, because that looks too good right here, let's just say. How does it perform against other instruments? And we need a 50% pass on it, okay? And this is a quick test. It goes like this. So I need, what is it, 3 out of 6? And so against other instruments, you could see it was profitable with 3 of them, with 2 of
Yeah.
them, 3 of them, and whatever, you know, but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter because we've already lost it. We will not use this robot because it failed the Monte Carlo, okay? All right,
How about the Lost in Space test?
the what?
Lost in Space test,
Danger,
you know,
danger.
by Danger, Will Robinson. That one.
That's
Huh?
a private joke, guys.
Oh,
But yeah.
okay. Anyway,
But let's just say we passed the punch test, right? We passed the casino kick test and we passed the kitchen sink test. Boy, I'll tell you, you're so happy when that happens, okay? Then what you do is you go over here, right? Go over to Expert Advisor, right? If you're on MT4, go like this. There it is, right?
you've got
You
your
go like
robot.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, I might have hit it too soon. It didn't quite load. Yeah, okay, there's the
that
code.
That
See, this is
loads
all
right onto
code,
your
guys.
account.
This is the shit I used to, oh, excuse my language. This is the shit I used to do. Oh, here I go again. I'm so sorry, guys.
That's all right.
So
You're just
basically,
being you. Yeah.
yes, I get excited. If this is a first shot and we
Yes.
almost had one, you know? So basically what it is you go into the folder and there it is. Okay, EA Studio, Euro US dollar, 1 hour robot, right? You
Yeah.
copy and paste that. And unfortunately, I can't show my accounts because they're on a VPN, right? And all you do is you copy and paste this, guys. Back, you know, just go copy, boom. And you go over to your MT4 terminal and you go into experts and you paste it in there and then you move it onto your chart. Unfortunately, I can't show you that right now. Plus we're running out of time. That part's easy. We have videos and everything for it, right?
All right. Well, you know, Al is saying this is amazing. And, you know, I know when someone's doing an interview, most people stuck around to hear you, Jess. So maybe we should go to the best way if they have an interest. And you said that they could try it out for free. There's like
Yeah.
a trial. And
Sure.
what's the best way for people to reach you and get involved?
Well, not to be rude, I'm dealing with the commercial clients, guys. Like
Okay.
my background's with the hedge funds and banks and stuff, but we have a whole team of guys there. I mean, to me, the best robot trader is Petko Alexandrov. He's my partner. He's there. They're all waiting for you guys. They'll do anything for you, believe me. And then the greatest developer in the world is definitely Miroslav Popov
Okay.
that I've gone.
Do you have a link? I could post it.
Yeah. How do I get? Where am I, Dale? Where do I get?
You're on Face.
Yeah, I know, but how do I?
All right, in those, just paste it in webinar chat. It should be on
Okay.
here.
Can I just very quickly just show you guys the courses?
Yeah,
So
go
that-
ahead.
Yeah, I'll just quickly show you the courses. You go right here. Okay. The way we do it is the guys are saying, no, we're not just giving them the robots. They gotta read through and take a little test, then they can have the robot. I'm going, no, it doesn't work that way, all right?
There's Petco.
These are all the courses. When we say courses, these are the robots that are embedded in the courses, okay, guys? These are not expensive compared to the price of crappy, scammy robots that are out there. These are
Yeah.
like $200, $300 US. But
Okay.
you guys cannot hedge in the United States. I would advise you not to take any of these, okay? These are hedging robots. But go ahead and try the system. I'll show you where to go to try it. And when you're interested, when you click on any of these are the 3 I recommend: the top 10 euro, the top 10 pound, and the top 5. That's a combination. That's euro, pound, yen, and so on and so on. So, okay. Those are the top 3, the first 3 that for US clients I recommend. Okay. The others, leave that alone for now. So basically, if you want to get licensed, it's on the pricey side, but honestly, it's not, because oh, by the way, those 30% off those courses, guys. When you go, and if you do order them down the line after you try it out for a few weeks, just put in face 30. I'll put that in the chat when I have the time, right? And also basically the software. It's right here. Okay. Again, I already reduced the price on the software. Okay. You put in face 10. We're over there. We'll tell you what to do if you decide to purchase. But right now, we want you to just use it for free. Okay, guys? And it's really simple. No credit cards, nothing like that. Just go on over there. Go to EA Studio. Don't go to FSV Pro. That is the for commercials. Okay, the big guys. All right. That's Petco right there. He teaches you everything step by step. All right. We also have it all in text, right? And just sign up here and you're good to go. Now, Dale, how did you say I get back into
Well, in the why don't you put the
stop
link in?
share, right? Is it stop share I hit?
Yeah, stop share. Okay, so on the right-hand side, maybe you'll see underneath participants, and there'll be a chat underneath it.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right. Oh, okay. Excellent. Wow.
Yeah, just
First
put it
time on
in
Zoom.
chat for all.
I like it.
You
I
did
like
okay,
it.
buddy.
So I'm just gonna post my website, guys, and then your coupons are there. But definitely take it for a ride. This is basically a Ferrari. Even if you're not a robot person, okay? Take your indicators and test them. And in 2 weeks, you can make your own robots, take them home. But after 2 weeks, you won't be able to download it, but you can use the tester anytime you want for the rest of your life. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. All right. I don't know if you see the website and my info there in the chat.
No, it's not in. I don't see it in. Maybe put it in Q&A. Let me see.
Q&A.
No, I don't see it anywhere. You want to put in Zoom webinar chat, paste and enter it. Right now, I don't see it.
Okay, let me try it one more time. It's
At the
I'm also
bottom where it
sharing-
says to all panelists, or you could put it on Skype and I'll enter it.
It's not participants, is it? No.
Why don't you just put the link on Skype and I'll enter it for you.
Oh, okay, that's a great idea. Where's my Skype now? There it is. Is that you, Dale? That's Dale. There you go. All right.
Okay, buddy. Really
Good.
interesting, interesting presentation. And there, Richard posted it and I'll post it again. There you go.
Thank you so much, guys. It's so nice
There it
to be
is.
back here and one of the best rooms on the internet. And like I said, this complements your trading. Like when I see Blake going long on the euro, and if
Yeah.
if my robots have fired long, oh
Yeah.
my God, you won't believe how many lots I add to that position.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're intelligence gathering with humans and machines.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it complements so nicely, you know. I mean,
Yeah. And you don't have to pay workers' comp if any of your robots break down or fall off.
oh, we
table
got
or
a big
anything,
crew,
right?
mate. We got
Yeah.
big, large systems. We watch our robots like
All right.
hawks, you know, because we use them. All of
All
our
right.
employees, we
Yeah.
use our own robots and we make money off of it, right? And we've been doing it
Okay.
for 10 years. There's no complaints in the chat, right? So,
Yeah, that's well, I'll call Guinness on that one, Guinness Book of World Records. So thank you, Jess Singh. And everyone, thanks for hanging out, listening to Jess, and have a great day the rest of the day. And we'll wrap it up. We're going to go from robots to planets tomorrow with Norm Rinsky. So
All
don't
right.
say I don't. So don't say I don't bring you a variety of methodologies. to
Thank
try
you so
and
much, man. It's great
make
to be
some
back.
money.
Have a great day, guys.
All right, everyone. That's Midas Jess Singh at Midas FX. Is that your that's your Twitter handle, right?
I don't do Twitter, mate. I don't do
Okay, I
anything.
know.
I
You
don't do
used to, okay.
Facebook.
All right, all right, all right.
All right.
So
All the best,
anyway,
Bill.
this is where you find them. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Remember, don't just count your robots, count your blessings. And I'll see everyone tomorrow. Adios. Thanks, Jess.
Cheers, guys.